Bushcraft 101, page 178. Catching something. However, this does not mean you should set traps without a proper purpose. Pay attention to setting signs. That is, signs that animals have been in the area. Often, if you set a couple of traps near camp, you will not catch anything even in a few days, let alone overnight. Trapping is a game of percentages, and 12 traps should be a minimum number when considering this method to secure meat. I know that sounds like a lot, but it can be done with minimal materials in about an hour once you understand the basic principles. Understanding trap components. Almost all traps contain three major components: the trigger, the lever, and the engine. Number one, the trigger is the part of the trap that actually gives way to set off the trap. In a primitive trap, this is often the bait stick or the wire triggers of a coney bear, for example. Number two, the lever is usually the device that holds the tension employed by the trap and is released or moved by the trigger. And number three, the engine is what powers the trap. It can be gravity in the case of the deadfall, or the bent sapling of a green tree or bush. Anything that causes weight transfer or stores energy is an engine. Traps are designed generally to perform one of three main functions: crush, strangle, or live capture. Or, as John Lofty Wiseman put it, strangle, mangle, and dangle. The type of trap you set and its function will depend on the game you desire to trap. Remember that while live food never spoils, handling an angry raccoon can be a dangerous game. So discretion in trapping is always wise. It is better to kill the animal and be safe than to have to dispatch a possibly dangerous animal. Page 179. Creating signposts. The object of a signpost is to discover what animals are frequenting an area you plan to use for trapping. This step is not necessary if you have already found many signs and realize what you are after and what is in the area. To accomplish this is easy. Select a good area of possible frequent travel and set a stick in the ground. Clear the ground around this area for about 2 feet square so that the tracks will be visible if an animal comes to investigate. Once this is set up, any type of visual or scent attractant can be used on the stick to bring animals in. A good method is to use both types of attractants. For example, you can use the entrails of a frog and a feather or a bright piece of cloth tied to the stick. Animals will notice things that change on their daily routes, just as you would if someone moved something or placed something new in your living room. The animals come to investigate and leave tracks, enabling you to identify what types of animals frequent the area. From this, you will better cater whatever traps and baits for those animals. Bushcraft tip. Scent control is overrated. Yes, I said overrated. It's not necessary to go overboard in controlling human odor. Mammals are curious, and they are all sniffers. They want to know what has been where and why. And some are even attracted to stinky things, such as your sweat or urine. I know a guy who actually used the leaves he wiped himself with after defecating on his signpost, only to find it had attracted several raccoons and a possum. Human odor can be very detrimental to hunting at times, but scavengers aren't bothered by it. The lesson here is things that smell bad sometimes make the best attractant, and worrying about covering your scent is unnecessary. Dirt and a smoky fire will do a lot toward covering your scent as it is. And unless you have some foul smelling chemical or fuel on your hands, you will be pretty safe. End of page.